Alright. Got rid of the web step. Cool. We are live with, what are we doing? CCL Week 6 versus Outset. Cool. Say a thing.
Oh, saying a thing.
Saying a thing, yes. We are all about professionalism here. So I'll load up this bracket thing. Here's one I made earlier. Look at that. Wow. So standard lineup, as always, Platinum in first, where there would be Silver League, because no one has any Silver League players. I don't think the ladder allows you to be Silver League at the moment. So we got Platinum first, then we got a Gold, Platinum, Diamond, Gold, and a Diamond Ace match, which is a best of 3 for the last set. It is basically a best of 9 Pro League format, but all maps are going to be played unless you can't schedule very well.
Although Neo says that 30% of the population is silver, so they do exist.
Well, okay.
They're just in hiding.
Yeah, so far, I believe we're up to week 6 now. Week 6 has been played out. We're playing week 7, and as of right now, I think 1 Silver League match has been played.
So they're unicorns.
Yeah, I mean
30% unicorns.
Yeah, unicorns, boys. So we're going to get started with set 2 because Ayn got the walkover win over Kamatiazo, who was in Diablo for 4 hours when he should have been playing. I don't know what that was up with, but there we go.
Raid? Oh wait, no, raiding is WoW.
So let's go straight into set 2, which is going to be 216. That's what the binary says, versus Wolf. Something else to note: all of Outset's gold players are like race switching people. I don't know. Wolf is listed as a random player. Drenok is listed as a Protoss player, and D's Nuts I think is listed as a Zerg player. They switch around a lot. So we will be having a ZVT here, and I guess let's hit the go button.
Okay. What is with these names of these people? Almost kind of missing the Microsoft censor.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That G-Dog Casey is a pretty dodgy name. Alright.
Definitely loading. Soon.
Soon TM.
Soon TM. I hope that's not my internet.
No.
I hope that's...
No, we're good. We're good. We've arrived. Alright, spawning in the bottom left of Expedition Lost, it is Wolf from Outset Gaming. Karen, this time.
And spawning in the top right, it is the purple Zerg 216. And today we're once again learning binary language.
Yep. So people in stream chat, if you could go and like tell people we're streaming this, as I kind of did a really half-assed job of it. Yeah. Anyway. So, what do you like about Expedition Lost and what don't you like? You got a bit of a chance to play it more now?
I basically hellbat for TVZ. Especially there was the... Yeah. I think it was... No, it was maybe Innovation that basically... It wasn't the Flash hellbat build that you saw back in like October or something. It's the one where you just go straight for the medevacs, you don't wait for another reactor, and then just as soon as you get a medevac, you're across the map and you shove hellbats in their face.
Yeah, with the
And
young approach.
yeah,
That's what he did all IM Kasovice.
and I've found some success in actually going and being aggressive to the Zerg.
Yeah, it's pretty
Imagine
nice.
that.
I wonder if Wolf is going to be doing that. We do see the barracks followed by the gas, so it looks like a Reaper expand opening as of right now. Something to note about Reapers on this particular map is you can't jump over the back entrance. You have to go through the natural to get into the main, so you don't normally see a lot of Reapers on this map.
Yeah, no, Reapers are kind of useless. I mean, it's good for the initial poke. Maybe you can sneak past if somebody's extremely lazy, but trying to send your Reaper in at least early is usually a suicide mission.
Yeah, so we'll be having one Reaper come out for Wolf. I would think he's gonna just add a reactor after this. But he is actually making the second depot, which would lead me to believe that. Okay, scratch everything I've just said as he throws down the second gas.
This is new.
This is new. Second gases, you need those for things like tanks, banshees, ravens, blue flame hellions, I would guess.
Yeah, I'm trying to think through. My Terran builds usually involve a command center between now and a second gas. Like, one base is usually like you're going like 2 racks Reaper, or you're proxying the 2 racks. Second gas before the factory, even. It's kind of an unusual order.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he is going to be going to the factory before the CC, getting some Hellions out a little bit faster than 216 would like to see. And actually, 216 isn't responding much to these this Reaper pressure, losing 2 drones right off the bat. I think he went hatch into gas into spawning pool, so as a result of that, you will be delaying those speedlings and those queens for a long time, and he's paying the price at the moment.
Yeah, this Reaper is getting a couple of drones. For its troubles, the queens are out now, so it'll be chased off and it'll just kind of scoot on out. No expansion yet from Wolf, and we'll be swapping the factory over. So I guess we're gonna see Hellions? And the starport's queued up as well now.
Yeah, this might even be like a one base. Yeah, there's the tech lab for the Banshee. One base Hellion Banshee. He still has the gas for an armory as well, which he will throw down at the 5:30 mark. This is disgustingly fast.
Yeah.
And how much does 216 know about this? Nothing. He's seen a Reaper.
Yeah, there's no vision of the base. Although we are
really
getting
lagging.
some lag.
Yeah, I do remember that 216 was like, I think he's playing from his internet on his phone or something during this, so that might be also the reason why he lost 4 drones to the Reaper.
Oh. That's
Yeah.
brutal.
It's a bit sucky. Situations dictated otherwise for 216 this week, but he will be getting a lot of roaches out very early. But he's going to be running headlong into Banshees and Hellbats and a lot of Marines. So I think his roaches are going to be doing okay, but he won't be prepared for the Banshee follow-up.
No, and there's only the 2 queens, so there's no spores, no extra queens, nothing that really shoots up.
Yeah, I mean, 216 can produce some more queens, and he's actually pulled out of gas entirely, so yeah, it's just going to be minerals from here on out, so it's going to have to be queens.
But the roaches are going across the map.
Yeah, they're not going to go across the map, the queens that is, so these Banshees, they will eventually kill everything.
Eventually.
But it's a question of how much damage is 216 going to get done with this push, and how much damage are the Hellbats going to do. 216 is rushing straight up to the Hellbats, all of these speedlings getting roasted very quickly, and these roaches, they are still here, but they are going to get picked off, I think, especially with the Widow Mines now coming out as well. They'll be able to thin out the Zergling numbers. Ooh, actually that Widow Mine killed the other Widow Mine. that's a bit messer.
Yeah, this attack, I mean, it got rid of the Hellbats, so at least the damage wasn't done at 216's base, but now they're just kind of throwing themselves into an impenetrable wall.
Wow, that reactor went down to 10 health. That is so close. So 216. I mean, I think he's actually okay still, because we got to remember Wolf is on one base still. He has completely cut this second orbital, and he's actually going into mech weapons now. So I mean, he's this is actually a build that I've done myself, but you just have the second command center in it, and you still have the same amount of stuff out. So, not quite sure what the deal here is. But, I mean, 216 still doesn't have an answer yet for the Banshees, unless the Banshees are in his base.
Yeah, a couple of spores are going down, but the spores aren't going to stop the Banshees from defending the Terran base. And there are 3 of them out now, plus with Globe. Oh, that Widow Mine just took out the Marines as well.
Yeah, that was a pretty... Yeah, Widow Mines, they always seem to have like a mine of their own. I'm gonna just kill everything. and they do.
Second command center finally going down for Wolf, although, I mean, this base is, well on its way to being mined out. We got 20 SCVs on the mineral lines. A little oversaturated, especially to be going so long without expanding.
Yeah, but these Banshees are now going to cross the map for Wolf, and they'll be able to get some nice counter pressure done. 216 is going up to his own layer. He does have, I believe, 2 queens out, but 2 queens against 3-4 Banshees? That's not going to cut it, I think. I think 216, he hasn't quite given enough respect to how many Banshees there are.
And all they're going to have to do is just get out of the range of this Spore Crawler, which is kind of guarding the front, sort of. And the drone line is just getting devastated.
Yeah, 13 workers already going down. To be honest, this natural would probably just fall if Wolf was going to focus fire it. But I like that he's going for the guaranteed damage and getting the drone kills instead of just tunnel visioning on the hatch first. I mean, he's got 18 drone kills, and I mean, 216 is morphing in some banelings, but there's actually no pressure coming in on the ground yet. I mean, I guess he's going to try and... Yeah, he's pressuring on the other side of the map with some lings and banelings, but the Widow Mines and Hellbats are all still here, and there's a ton of Hellbats on the top of the ramp here, and 216 does take one of the Banshees out, but goes down to 1 base as a result.
Yeah, and those Widow Mines and the Hellbat, they took out everything, so there was no getting near or in to Wolf's base with that force, and now 216 is on 1 base.
Yeah, these Banshees, they've got a lot of kills. They're coming home just to make sure that Wolf doesn't die to anything silly, and he's pumping out a couple more Hellbats, a Raven, a Marauder, and a second factory, which is also on a reactor. So Wolf has some interesting choices of what he thinks an army composition should look like, that's for sure. But I don't think he still has the economy, but that being said, does he really need the economy? I mean, 216 has barely got 1 base working right now.
Yeah, and it's going to be difficult to build up the force you need, larva-wise, economy-wise, to counter 3 Banshees, the Widow Mines, and the Hellbats. I mean, at this point, you don't even really need stim. Like, these Marines are just here for to be cheerleaders, and they got +2 weapons for mech on the way, and 216 just GG's out.
Yeah, it was a bit of a rough game from 216. I mean, given the fact that he had planned some aggression that got shut down by his opponent's planned aggression, coupled with his apparent lag from his tethered connection to his phone, that's a little bit sucky.
Yeah.
But well played, all things considered, I think. A few things to learn there. Just, you saw 4 Banshees. Like, that is a scary amount of Banshees. You've got to get several Spore Crawlers, a lot of Queens out.
Yeah, Banshees by themselves can take out the Queens without too much trouble if there's not, a couple friends there to help out, or a Spore Crawler, or something.
Yeah, so that will... What are we at for the bracket? So we have a walkover with Ein, and Wolf took a map for Outset, so we are now 1-1. And we have your favourite person to critique coming up in the next series.
My favourite person? I have favourite people?
TB Ham, who else?
Ah, shouldn't that be your favourite person?
I'm impartial to
Oh,
people.
okay, so I'm gonna take the fall for this, aren't I?
I mean, I'm just... look, I got nothing to add to that. Alright, so we're just gonna go ahead and load up. This is gonna be versus Cyber Wizard, a Protoss player, so we'll have ZVP on Catalina.
And let's get started.
Apparently Cyber Wizard is listed in gold here. I wonder what's up with that.
MMR decay, probably?
Maybe. Some of these teams do play more than others, that's for sure.
Alright, well, starting in the top position, the 12 o'clock on Catalina, it is TB Ham. And spawning in the 9 o'clock position, we have Cyber Wizard.
I believe his Outset's captain, so... I know that before this week play, TB Ham put in a request to me and Sin and Quang to say, hey, I want to play Cyber Wizard. Not sure why, but he's obviously felt confident and he has some plans. This drone is... What is this drone doing? I think that's just a drone scout.
Is it queued up anywhere? I mean, it's going awfully early for Protoss these days.
Some Zerg players, like I know Sulky, he likes to drone scout sometimes, Solar as well, on 10 supply. It gets to, at least on 2-player maps, it arrives in time just to see if you can reactively go hatch first, pool, overlord hatchery, 3 hatch before pool, all of that kind of stuff. So,
all of the fun things.
Yeah. Cyber Wizard is also scouting as well, but both players scout wrong.
They scout wrong, but they pass each other, so now they know where the other is.
And they know that the other one is scouting as well. And TB Ham hasn't yet thrown down a spawning pool, so it looks like it's going to be a hatchery first for him.
So none of the crazy, like, 10-pool speedling things like we saw the last time?
Oh yeah, that's what he did last time, wasn't it? Oh, that's crazy. I mean, we do have a drone going down to build a hatchery now for TB Ham. That's late, though. I mean, that's at like 500 minerals, so... Sure, what's up with that? He throws down the spawning pool as well shortly after. And this looks like this drone is just going to depart the premises, or is it? Cyber Wizard saw that, though. He's... I don't know what that was up with.
That drone's not sneaking anywhere. And it's just going to be annoying on the low ground.
Yeah, Cyber Wizard actually built a pylon there, but cancelled it right at the last second. Obviously wanting to complete his wall off first and maybe get a bit of money out for the Nexus, but he will get supply blocked as a result of that now at 18 of 18, and he still hasn't yet managed to build this Nexus because this drone has been so annoying from TB Ham. And it's still here.
This drone is just that guy who can't take a hint.
Cyber Wizard is actually adding a forge in his wall off. I'm wondering why that's not a cybernetics core and a double gas at this stage, but...
The cyber core does go down, but there's... Finally, there goes the gas. The gas will be pretty late though, so warp gate, stalkers, anything along those lines will be delayed.
Yeah, and TB Ham is rallying a few Zerglings across the map just to poke and be annoying at this wall off, but because Cyber Wizard has made this forge, which is highly unusual, he'll be able to defend this quite easy, and there's a base in his base, Jester.
Yep, there's a base in his base. This drone is just determined to be the most annoying thing on the planet.
And I think it's achieved that so far, because, I mean, attention will be drawn to the proxy hatchery, instead of defending the Fallings at the front. There is a Zealot and three probes going to Ham on this hatchery, and they will be able to take it down before it finishes.
But the cannon at the front didn't get a cancel, and I mean, between the couple of probes being pulled to try and deal with the drone, and the additional probes to be dealt with the drone that made a base in a base, there's just little bits of lost mining time here and there. And oh wow, the pylon goes down. So nothing is powered at the front, and these lings, man, TB is just determined to be that guy with as few units as possible.
Yeah, I mean, that was 4 Zerglings and a drone, because, I mean, Cyber Wizard hasn't been able to, like, go towards what his planned mid-game is yet. He only has the one guy in gas, admittedly, and it's only just been started during all of this, so I'm still wondering if that delayed gas was a mistake or not, because normally you'd be throwing down your tech, and arguably you'd be maybe finishing your tech around now. Some Protosters will probably be chrono boosting their first Immortal out around now, but we don't even see Warp Gate out yet for Cyber Wizard.
Yeah, and I mean, as I said, there's just little bits of things, you know, lost there, here and there. There's no Mothership core on the way. It's almost just kind of like those 4 Lings and a drone completely scrambled everything.
Yeah, he's really thrown off. Meanwhile, in Camp TB Ham, everything's looking pretty normal. He's got the 2 hatcheries there. He's got the 3rd hatchery in construction. He's got an extra queen coming out. He's going to be spreading a tumor with this queen before moving off down to the 3rd. We'll probably be seeing a Roach Warren come down soon from TB Ham. But he's looking really comfortable this game, now reaching 50 supply. Cyber Wizard has now got his Mothership core out, so he has just barely stabilized the...
And we're at 8 minutes in the game, and Warp Gate's quarter of the way through. 2 gates will forge, not researching. And we're getting a sentry, so that'll help, you know, protect things at the front a little bit, and by the time TB gets anything, I think Nexus Cannon should barely be ready. But, I mean, TB at this point can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, and it looks like he's just going to be going into double upgrades for his roaches and then just making a bunch of roaches. He could well go for melee upgrades as well. It's generally a stylistic choice as to what you prefer in the Zerg shoes. We do see the missile attacks go down for TB Ham, so it will be a more roach focus and maybe Hydra focus mid-game for TB Ham as opposed to the Lings. But there is the Robo going down for Cyber Wizard now, so we will be able to get those Immortals out to help him against the roaches, but it's very delayed.
We're not going to see like a 12-minute roach or anything old school like that, are we?
It's certainly not going to be 12 minutes, but it could well be 13 or 14 minutes. I mean, TB Ham, he's already at 63 drones, which is pretty ridiculous. Possibly even too many. If this Robo was made faster, then Cyber Wizard could punish this many drones from TB Ham, but I mean, Warp Gate's only just finished, so I mean, TB Ham's entirely justified droning up this much.
And it looks like the Robo is finished up. There is an Immortal on its way at Lunt, and 2 other gates have been thrown down. Got a couple more cannons at their front.
Yeah, cannons, but I'm not sure. I mean, there was actually a hole in this wall as well from Cyber Wizard, so now he just attacked his own Zealot. I'm not sure what's quite going on here.
Almost like he's scared of a bust, or that there would be some kind of roach push in his face.
I mean, TB Ham does have the money to produce around 30 roaches right now, but he doesn't have the Overlords. He's going to get very heavily supply blocks.
Yep. And there's a lot of minerals banked up just now.
Yeah, he is missing a macro hatch, which does go down now as I say that. He's realized that as well. And he's going to be able to start 2-2 pretty fast, actually. This is unusual. Normally you just go for the single upgrades until you hit Hive, and then you start swapping over to double, but I mean, I guess you only need the roaches right now. Oh, apparently drones as he adds another wave of 10 drones, and he takes the aggressive 4th base, so indicative of his future plans, maybe.
Yeah, we've got, it looks like 65 drones to 43 probes.
Yeah, but 43, 44 probes is all you really need as a Protoss if you're planning this kind of 2-base all-in, but this is a very sort of partying-esque move out here from Cyber Wizard, but it is very delayed. I'm not sure how much this is going to get done. He does have equal army supply to TB Ham, and TB Ham, I don't think he's aware that this is moving out, so Cyber Wizard will have the element of surprise here, but TB Ham's only making roaches from here on out. But he will get supply blocks at again 142, so not entirely sure what's going on with his lack of overlords.
They're too busy being spread out.
Yeah, that's true.
Now this is going to be the first sign of any real attack on the way. The 2 queens go down pretty brutally, and roaches and hydras from here. 2-2 is about halfway done, so if TV can delay this attack a little bit, it'll be quite the healthy upgrade lead, but this is gonna march right up into his base.
Yeah, but how many force fields do you need to stop a 360 surround? TV Hand comes in from all angles here, focus firing one of the Immortals down. Looks like you might be able to get both, actually. He's splitting his fire a little bit, but there's a third Immortal in the back as well, and looks like TV Hand does have enough units to break through with all the Immortals full. The Roaches are still alive. The Sentries, well, there's only one left with 1 force field. Cyber Wizard is continuing the assault, but there is a nice force field there just to stop the Roaches from filtering through quite as fast, but he doesn't have the units just to force TV Ham away here, and the recall does go up from Cyber Wizard, but his army supply is a Mothership Core.
Yeah, I think the only thing that was recalled was the Mothership. Which, GG.
Yeah, so...
Very interesting game.
that proxy hatch, I'm not sure how much damage that did literally, but I think it did a lot of mental damage there. Because, yeah, we will take the 2-1 lead. So what do we have next? We have a Diamond League game coming up. It will be our Terran Shalashika versus the Outset's Viz. Do we call them VIS? It's VIS in all caps. Viz, VIS.
Viz works.
Some loud whistling. What else have we got? He's a Protoss. There we go, and it's on Overgrowth. Alright. Cool. Found it.
Awesome. So, I nominate that Proxy Hatch for MVP of the week.
MVP of the week. Jester's award there. It's now a thing.
It's now a thing.
It can be a thing if you want it to be a thing. You have the power.
Alright, well, it was Viz in all caps, now it's little I.
Oh, it is a little I. Yeah, what is with people on Chobo Team League websites and mistyping people's names?
Too many names to keep track of. Alright, well, spawning in the bottom left corner, we have Yellow Protoss, it is Viz. And in the top right, we have a confused Terran, it is Shalashika.
Yep, I'm pretty sure this was supposed to be played on Overgrowth. Yep, it was supposed to be played on Overgrowth. Yep, so Shalashika is hallucinating. Isn't necessarily unheard of.
Just a little bit of brain problems to go around this week.
Yeah, that seems to be the recurring theme so far of this cast. So Shalashika is a very standard type of player for the most part, and he's definitely very competent, as we saw him take down Gamer Richie Molds in our internal tournament recently, so he's good enough to beat Grandmaster Terrans. Let's see if he's good enough to beat the Diamond Protosses.
Oh, the TVP jokes can go for days. But
yeah.
my TVP is slightly improved lately, or at least I haven't just lost every single one of them, so I can't complain too much more than the average Terran.
And he hates us both. Perfect. Alright.
Oh.
Nailed it.
Yep.
So, out of Viz, we will be having some kind of a Reaper wall off towards the top of his base, and he will be taking the double gas. Throwing in 2 in the first one to begin with, but he does keep his options open for... That's a 15 cybernetic score and straight into 3 in gas. If he throws down 3 in gas here, this is gonna be... Yeah, this is some kind of tech play.
This is Twilight or Stargate.
Yep.
I say that in the most dejected tone.
I think
I know what this is.
Yeah, I think it's... There's no probe out on the map, so it can't be...
It doesn't have to be proxied to still be an oracle in your base.
It's not going to be a ridiculously fast oracle. So, Shalashika does have that going for him, as his SCV scout does enter the main base now, and what does he see? He sees 3 in gas, he sees 3 in gas, and he sees one pylon. He does see the mothership core, and he does see that finish, so I think he can identify then that it's not going to be some kind of super fast Stargate, but there is a lot of gas being mined, and there's only one pylon that he saw.
Twilight goes down, but Warp Gate has not been started yet, so if you don't see the Warp Gate, usually then you're thinking, alright, yep, where's the Stargate? But with the Twilight going down, I don't know. I almost want to say maybe this is going to be DTs.
Maybe.
I don't know.
There's still no proxy pylon out for Viz though, so it's going to take a while for his DTs to get anywhere, if that will be the case. We do have a second gateway being thrown. No, we don't. Never mind, false alarm, guys. We do have the Dark Shrine, yep, as you called. Going down towards the top of Viz's main. Shlashika's Reaper is going around this map frantically looking in all of these spots, looking for this Stargate, but not there. Not there. Where is this Reaper?
It's the other thing you're still going to want a turret for.
Yeah, and speaking of turrets, we do have a turret thrown down in the mineral line for Shlashika, and I imagine we'll have one in the natural as soon as this CC gets finished as well. Yeah, this Reaper is frantically looking around the map. This is the why you tend to SCV scout around the time that Shlashika did, so then you can see if you can use your Reaper to look around the map for sneaky things. He did miss the Protoss Gold Base, which is also a favourite to stick a Stargate in, because that's relatively close. Terran base, mass base wise, but this is going to be... Is this 4 gateways and a Dark Shrine? Wow.
The Reaper did get the scout off though, so I'm wondering if Viz is going to commit to this? Yep, this is going to complete, so now you know that DTs are going to be a presence on the map, which means you're always going to need to leave something behind. And they're going to go in now. Let's see if they'll try and finish up. Oh, the turret does finish, and the DTs are shut down pretty easily.
Yeah. Wow. Who was it that lost the DTs last weekend at IEM? Because Shlashika should be sending him this replay. I think it was Innovation,
Everybody?
wasn't it? Everybody. Okay.
Everybody.
I mean, if you just have guys with guns and you can see the Dark Templar, you then shoot the Dark Templar and the Dark Templar dies.
DT's gonna try and sneak back in, but at this point, it's gonna be really difficult to get anything past the turret and bunker.
Yeah, I mean, Shlashika, he feels that he can drop a scan down, and he sees a robo being made. He sees 3 gateways. He didn't see the 4th gateway, though. I think if he saw the 4th gateway, he'd probably be very pleased with how easily he held that off. And I wonder if Viz even needed 4 gateways, because he only made 2 Dark Templar.
Yeah, it wasn't a huge commitment. I think after being scouted, I guess as the Protoss player, you probably want to start thinking about a backup plan. And hope the Terran doesn't just walk everything across the map and either try and, you know, get some damage on the Nexus, get some probes, maybe force an overcharge and go back. But Shlashika is just going to continue as normal now that the Stargate danger has passed.
Yeah, I think Shlashika is going to be very happy with his position moving forward. And meanwhile, in Camp Vis, he's feeling the need to throw down a photon cannon in his mineral line just in case a Widow Mine drop comes in. But the starport isn't even finished yet for Shlashika, so there's no threat of that coming in whatsoever. It's going to be pushes at the front that this needs to be defending.
Yep, and we've already got some units going across the map. There is an observer out, so it will be spotted. And Mothership Core does have enough for a Nexus, so the units are moving down to get in position, and we'll see if this gets anything done. There's not really a whole lot here in terms of probes or anything, so... Yep, cannon goes down. Oh, force fields catch a couple of units, but Shlashika can just, you know, go back to the tower and be, you know, pretty reasonably happy with that.
Yeah, 2 Marines for 3 force fields and an overcharge. I think that's a fairly reasonable trade there for Shlashika. I mean, he is 70 supply up over 51 of his opponent, so pretty comfortable position still. He's gonna have he's got his stim out already. He's actually going up to 5 barracks before the 3rd CC, which is the major decision point of standard TVP. So he's going to be looking to put on a lot of aggression with his 4 medevacs. Very Pult-esque type of play, which I know he is a fan of.
Yep, and you got Marines keeping an eye out for any third bases or anything at the gold, which is useful to help kind of tell if the Protoss is going to try and do any kind of timing with Colossus or Templar or something, but I think any kind of advanced tech is going to be a little off. There's one Colossus popping now, but I don't even know if Thermal Lance has been started. No, it hasn't.
Oh, and Shashika does stim forward. He does get the Mothership Core, but that's... Not sure whether that was worth it there. We do see that now Biz does take the lead in the units lost tab. For probably the first time in this game at the moment. So... I don't know whether that trade was worth it.
You got the Mothership Core, which is always nice, but you walked into Force Fields, and Force Fields will be more than enough to kind of hold, and the Colossus just kind of incinerated the Marines.
Yeah, Shashika is going to get this drop in towards the top of Viz's main, and he will get the location on the Dark Shrine at last, so that's nice for him. And he just drops on top of these Stalkers. He's going to get 3 Stalkers for free here, and he might even get a pylon or even the Dark Shrine, but Viz does show up with his army. 4th Stalker going down.
You're going to need to pick up and get out. Wow. Let's see.
Yep.
Is the 3rd base on the way for Shalashka yet? No, he's just continuing to put out units.
It is queued up to be made, so yeah, throw it down on position next to the pylon. Does he know this pylon is here? He does. He's going to have to send some units to clean that up, otherwise his 3rd base might actually... Yeah, here we go. There's some units to clean up. And, I mean, Rajika's taking a pretty nice supply lead once again, as Biz is pretty locked back on 2 bases, and there's a Marine here to deny this 3rd base of this, and he does at least get the scout on this double drop, but I mean, Viz is locked on these 2 bases, and eventually Shalashka, with a few more minutes, is gonna have an overwhelming supply count.
I would like to see Shalashka start to pump out some Vikings to help, you know, counter the Colossus. There are 2 out now, and Thermalance will be completed, and with all these sentries full of energy, it is something you are going to have to be careful of.
Yeah, he's actually got a lot of idle units sat around his production ramp, just like chilling. There's a good like 8 Marines in his main still. He found a few of the Marauders, but here we go. Here's the rest of his units being rallied down.
Yeah, the 2-hour lunch is over.
Yeah, sometimes that happens as a current player.
It does. It's really annoying because you're just like, no, my army should be bigger than this, but oh wait, you guys are all lazing around back home.
Yeah, it's like you're sat with your supply and you're like, my supply's really good, why am I losing these fights? And yeah, Ashka, he still has denied the 3rd of this, and this is 15 minutes in now. This is still locked on 2 bases. He is going up to 2-2, or 2-1 even rather. 1-2. You got 1 attack and 2 armor soon. But no blink yet. Africa is up 50 supply just from containing the Protoss on 2 bases.
Yeah, and these drops are actually being a little annoying, more than they probably should be. Got more Stalkers. Fired off another Nexus cannon. Oh, the Colossus are going down almost for free, and well, that's just less Vikings you'll need to make. These drops just seem to be... For a Protoss on 2 bases, especially with this distance, I feel like they shouldn't be doing this kind of damage, but they are.
This feels the same way as he throws down 4 photon cannons next to his Dark Shrine. Normally when you see a Protoss building photon cannons to defend against bio drops, that's normally a sign that as a Terran player you want to be dropping them more. Because that's saying my multitasking with my army isn't particularly good, so I'll just use cannons just to do the job instead. So I like if Shalashka continues to drop even with these photon cannons being there, I really like the decision. But losing those 2 medevacs on the 3rd base isn't going to be so great.
That's not ideal.
The supplies are still okay though.
Yeah, 171 to 93. It's almost double.
Yeah, Shlashka could just pull a bunch of SCVs and maybe even go for the win at this stage, but I'm not sure if he's going to be doing that.
There's 7 Vikings, but where are they? There they go. They're finally catching up to the army. They were on a 2-hour lunch as well.
Tailing behind there.
There's only 2 Colossus, and his Templar Archives, I don't think I've seen it yet, so it's just these 2 Colossus for AoE. I mean, this is almost the Protoss army you want to see.
Yeah, and the Vikings hovering over the little kitchen there as well. This is a really nice spot for Shlashka. He's getting a bit of his bio toasted up there by the Colossus, but the last Colossus does fall and there's only bio left here. Shlashka is up 80 supply. Good force fields coming out by Viz, though, trapping a lot of Shlashka's army, and the Vikings are all falling at the back there as well, and Shlashka does have an army left here, and he'll be able to clean this up by the looks of things.
Yeah, I mean, that was Viz's army, and now Shlashka's free to just harass this Nexus once again after being cancelled and cancelled and cancelled again, and now it's going down for real. You can just pick up and move out, wait for a regroup, and then just kind of push for the win. That was almost a waste of overcharge.
Yeah. I'm not sure why Viz is like... What do you do from here? I guess he's going to try and get some nice storms out. He's going to get Psystorm chrono boosted. He's chrono boosting some Colossus, but he needs some meat with his army as well. Speaking of which, what is his army? It's a Mothership Corps.
Some Mothership Corps army again?
That's it. It's the Mothership Corps and the guys who just walked in the natural, which is Colossus, a Sentry, 2 Templar, and 4 Zealots. Meanwhile, in Camp Shalashika, he has a lot.
Shalashika's going to go to work on those panic cannons, and this will probably be the game. Unless the storm just... well, a little overstimmed, so the storm can do a little more damage than it could, or we could feed back the medevacs, which is also annoying. But Shalashka at this point has got 4 bases, is mining comfortably. This is a good place you want to be in as a parent.
I like that he's not making any rash decisions. He's still going through the normal motions of macro play, adding the extra bases, getting his upgrades, getting the tech up, but I think he really just needs to recognize his lead and reconsolidate his army and macro a bit and just go for one last push. Cause
I would like to see maybe, especially with all the minerals being flooded, 3-4 more racks, maybe? The extra command centers are nice, they can be planetaries, they can take the gold base if you want to be really annoying, if you want to make my cat cry. We've got the ghosts coming out now, and that'll take care of the Templar. It doesn't look like Viz is going to really continue with the Colossus tech, and these drops are just continuing to slowly pick apart this main, and it doesn't look like there's too many cannons left, or at least not in positions that'll do substantial damage.
I mean, he really needs some money storms whenever this next engagement comes. He has the 2 High Templar, but he's morphing in Archons. Not sure. Can you try and ninja a base as Viz? I don't think you can. Shlashka has so much map vision. He's burrowing Widow Mines on the gold base. He's sending another one to the 3rd base here. He's got the watchtower for the base out in the open. Got this game on lockdown, I think, but he hasn't attacked yet.
The 3rd base for Viz is the only one that's really healthily mining. I mean, this natural for Viz is mostly gone. And at this point, and with all these ghosts, the 2 Templar are gonna have to get the Storm of Life. I love how this medevac is just sitting here. It's an observer that you can see.
Yeah, we will be having the engagement at the 3rd base. Oh, wow, those EMPs.
Everything.
That is a lot of EMP, but the upgrades from Viz is still pretty reasonable here, and he will be pushing Shalashika back once again. Just barely. Running over this Widow Mine though. Is Viz going to chase? He will chase, taking a shot on those unit, but meanwhile this drop in the main has been uncontested, and Holt is going to be killing the Nexuses.
Holt lives on.
So many probes going down.
These charge blocks are going to sim down here. I mean, they're going to go to work on these Marauders, and they should be kiting back against them. There we go, kind of. But Shalashika's definitely got the economy and the money to just rebuild this army at will, and everything that Viz loses is going to be harder to replace because there just isn't the income for it.
It's like Spoon Terran type stuff. We got like a planetary here. We got a missile turret. Probably another planetary morphing in somewhere as well. There's a planetary on the 4th. Slowly killing this. I mean, there's no rush. I mean, it's as long as you continue taking competent engagements, at least trade evenly, I think you're going to be okay.
There's always some need, and I guess the understanding for caution, especially in TVP from the Terran side, because if you walk into Colossus or a bunch of storms, and you're going to lose everything. But these EMPs and the snipe, that was the AoE, and now it's a shieldless army, and it's gonna be GG.
Okay. Nice play. Got a little bit worried when there was only the Mothership core left and Rashika chose to retreat, but brought the game home anyway. That was pretty dominant play.
Yeah, the DTs did nothing. They saw a turret in a bunker, and that was about it.
4 gates into 2 Dark Templar, into do nothing with the Dark Templar, which is unfortunate, but I don't think 4 gateways was necessary there. Maybe 2, 3. Get the expansion a little bit quicker, maybe a faster Robo or Forge or something like that instead.
Yeah.
But it is what it is, and speaking of it is what it is, we have another walkover, as Renok chose to forfeit to Acadian for whatever reason.
So we are 4-1 or 3-1?
We are now 4-1, so we need 1 map win, and Outset need everything from here on out. So we will be having a Platinum League game coming up next. Throw this thing up, there we go. And it will be G-Dog Casey, my better half, versus Potato Chips, who is probably Outset's cheesiest Terran player from what I've seen.
Cheesiest Terran player?
Yeah. I mean, he is the Potato Chips and he brings his own cheese dip.
I don't think I've... Tortilla chips, yeah, they have cheese.
I'm trying to be American here. I don't know how you guys do it.
Well, I know some Americans will eat cheese dip on anything, but to me that just doesn't sound appetizing.
Well, do you hand in your American card at the nearest receptacle? Like, what's the deal? I don't know.
Yeah, me and my healthy eating with a bag of Reese's peanut butter cups just off camera.
It's alright, no one heard that. Don't worry about it. So we got Secret Spring, cheesy Terran player, Casey's position. I don't think you're too happy.
Yeah, I've seen enough talk about Secret Spring and Zergs on this map to know that you guys are generally unhappy about having to play this map. But to start it off, on the right side of the map, we have our yellow Terran. It is G-Dog Casey, and on the left side we have Potato Chips and cheese.
Yeah. So Casey, I was practicing with him for this game. I know we planned to do a 12 Roach Rush.
Okay.
But I don't think that happened. I'm not sure. Guess we'll find out.
I mean, I've seen Zergs try and do the early Roach push, like the one basey Roach type stuff on this, but I feel like every time I've had a wall up on this. Yeah. And it's just kind of, I mean, yeah, my thought process is always, I mean, yeah, okay, you can, sure, that's cool, I guess, but there's a wall here. Don't know where you thought you were coming in.
Yeah. I mean, me and Shlashka were casting on this map last night for TAI 6 finals, and he made a very interesting point about, yes, this ramp is very easy to defend from the Terran player because it's so thin, you can, like, get bunkers around it really nicely. Widowmine Splash will be very maximized. It doesn't look very appetizing for the Zerg to bust up, but in normal scenarios where you bust into the first defensive line of the Terran player, he can then retreat to his main base. This is his main base. If the Zerg busts through this ramp, he's just going to sit on production, and that's it. There's no second line of defense.
Yeah, that's true. Especially with this main base being so open. If you get any kind of run by, you're running around chasing your tail and you look stupid.
Yeah. So far, though, we don't have anything like that from Casey. Just going with the hatch, the pool, and the gas. Very standard times. He is keeping his second Overlord on top of his own ramp, though, just making sure that there's no shenanigans coming from Potato Chips, as we did scout him as a shenanigans player. So.
Interesting that Potato Chips is going for the Marines and not opting for the Reaper.
Yeah, it looks like his Marines are just scouting around for an Overlord as he builds a fast factory.
Interesting choice for this map. I mean, I personally am liking 3 Reapers more and more, just because you can do a lot of damage and be annoying on the Zerg side of the map, and you keep things off your own thin, easily bustable ramp. But we have a second barracks going down and a tech lab actually on the first one. Interesting choice.
Yep, this is definitely going to be something one-basey, so Potato Chips is living up to how he has played in the past, with the Marauder coming out, and he's saving his gas, so he doesn't want to get concussive shells with this, so it'll be maybe a second add-on on this factory. No, it's just going to be single-produced Hellions. So
this be some kind of Marauder Hellion, Marauder Hellbat, maybe?
Maybe. I wonder where this gas is going. It's got to be like an armory or stim, right? Maybe combat shields for finishing quickly, but he hasn't started an upgrade on the tech lab yet, so I guess it must just be an armory soon. No, it's another reactor. I'm
thinking Marauder Hellion. The reactor will finish, they'll swap. I mean, maybe you could have thrown down for a starport and done something Marauder Hellbat-ish.
Sounds like you're as stumped as I am.
I really haven't done much. Even in Wings of Liberty, I never did much with Marauder Hellion. It was just something I didn't do. And I guess I never really saw a good build for it. And, I mean, you can't quite copy Pult easily, because Pult does whatever Pult wants. Yeah, this is gonna swap, but I mean, I've seen it be very effective, but I can't say from personal experience. That's all.
Yeah, and Casey has done 0 scouting, so this is going to come as a relative surprise to him. I mean, he does know the type of player Potato Chips is, and he hasn't seen a Reaper. So I think he can put 2 and 2 together and realize something's up, and speaking of something's up, Potato Chips' SCV is realized, hang on a minute, that's 1 million speedlings. That's not normal.
Walked right into that.
But there's going to be Hellbats, and there's going to be Marauders.
And there's going to be a lot of Banelings now, too. There's no bunker. Oh, these Hellions, are they gonna... No, they're just gonna park on the ramp.
I think I would have preferred to keep those as Hellions. I'm not sure. Banelings come crashing into the Marauders, but I think that's actually an okay trade, as all of the Hellbats get surrounded. And Casey can run up the ramp.
As well. And the Wings are in. And this, I think we're gonna find out exactly what she meant by what happens once you get past that line of defense. Casey is gonna morph Banelings in your base, and that's not something you want to see.
Oh no, is this actually gonna happen? Go on.
These gonna pop.
Go on. Yes!
Oh,
Justice was served this day.
Sad.
Come on, that's not sad.
Slightly sad. And more Banelings are gonna morph. Casey can just continue to wail on this, and once these depots go down, I mean, I mean, it's not going to supply block potato chips, but you don't want an open wall, especially one that you might not be able to rebuild, and he's already lost a lot of SCVs and is on one base.
Yeah, that is a lot of speedlings. 50 speedlings on the map against 4 Hellions, which are now Hellbats, so the Hellbats are all half health before they even morph in. It will get some amazing connection on these lings though, and it looks like all of the lings will get cleaned up. Turns out Hellbats are pretty good.
That was, I mean, they were kind of running into the choke, so maybe not the best engagement for speedlings, but I actually thought that the Hellbats were just gonna die there. Turns out they're pretty damaging.
Yeah.
That might have been a little OP, even by my tastes.
Well, I mean, Casey, he's still in a comfortable position this game, I think. He's got a better economy than Potato Chips. Potato Chips' army is pretty good against the Lings. These Hellbats have got nearly 20 kills each, and they're still just barely alive. Maybe some SCVs to repair here would be nice. But I think Casey's just interested in making more Zerglings and just rallying them across the map, and he will get the kill on that first Hellbat, he will get the kill on the second Hellbat, it looks like he'll get the kill on the rest of these Hellbats as well as they transform in, and these Banelings are definitely going to clean up here.
And that's most of the army, I think. Yeah, Potato Chips is pushed back, and Casey just gonna continue. 28 more Speedlings about to pop. Those can be Banelings, they can be Speedlings, and there's only, what, these 2 Hellbats and a Marauder? There's no concussive shell. I mean, yeah, units are rallying across the map, but Potato Chips needs to rebuild this wall. Maybe try and get an expansion up.
I'm not sure if he's interested in either of those things at the moment.
Yeah. And if these units go up the ramp, they're just gonna walk into Banelings.
But even if they retreat, I mean, Casey's just going to chase them down as soon as they start retreating, so Potato Chips, he has to get damage done, and he's only 10 or 15 army supply down, but he needs a miracle engagement here, and I don't think Casey's going to give that to him, as everything dies, including most of the Zerg. But with the reinforcement streaming across from Casey, he's... I mean, I think we've casted this before, it was like the same thing 10 minutes ago, or 8 minutes ago, as the Lings come crushing forward once again, and there is a wall off here for Potato Chips, and if Casey gets into the main base, he's going to sit on production, and it's going to get really awkward, but there's a few Hellions out for Potato Chips. Wow, we did cast this already.
But what you don't want to see is your wall half-formed. There's half health on these depots. I mean, yeah, the tech lab finished just in time. That's the only thing with any health on it, and that's not a lot of health. These Hellbats are going to have to really abuse this choke. But I think that's just gonna tear down the wall.
Yeah, Casey gets us around on these Hellbats, and the Hellbats, I believe, are going to kill most of the Lings. Wow, there's only 2 Lings left. The reinforcements streaming across are going to be more than enough to clean up this time, I think. Potato Chip decides that he needs some more production right now because he doesn't have enough units out, and he would partially be correct. Casey is going to kill this reactor, slow down the production of the Hellions, but... I mean, there's only 1 Marauder out.
And once it dies, that's...
Should have left you bust first. GG.
Should have left you bust first. That's a sentence.
I mean, it is a collection of words.
Yeah, a collection of words is a really good way to put that.
Yeah, so Casey takes the series for us with 5-1. Cool. GG, well played. Nice use of Banelings, nice use of throwing our plant out the window. I'm not salty at all. But, yeah.
There's a little bit of deja vu there towards the end.
People are saying I'm obsing for myself. I don't know if I'm obsing for myself, but I am running the stream and casting and obsing all at the same time. And yes, it's all going to be a little bit substandard because I can't do everything all at the same time. Turns out. Alright, so we got to see if Outset can scrape some points back.
Yep.
So what have we got next? We have a Diamond Random Silky from All In versus a Diamond Terran Adult Diaper.
I just don't like that name.
I mean, is it better or worse than Baby Puncher?
It's about the same in my book. we need a nickname or something, like, otherwise it's just gonna be D-Terran.
Um,
So
mature pooping chamber? Does that work?
Oh.
I don't know. We'll take suggestions from chat, I guess.
I'll let Sin handle it. Yeah, that's what I thought, Adria. I'm crying too.
Well, let's load this up. We have a random versus Terran on Vani Research Station.
Ooh. At least it's not Inferno Pools. Random on Inferno Pools is just...
Oh.
You just kind of think, why live?
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
I think Sin's distracted with recruiting.
Yep, that's the theme of everything at the moment.
Alright, well, spawning in the top position on Vani Research Station, we have Silky. And in the bottom, we have the Red Terran, the Adult Diaper. Nothing about that name is appealing.
No.
No. I do like this map. I have to say, this is probably my favorite map this season and lately.
Oh.
Catalina is starting to get boring. I never liked Overgrowth. Deadwing is kind of getting old as well, especially because they gypped the spawns.
I mean, it's understandable that Terrans can't siege up in their third and attack the other third.
It's understandable, but at the same time, if you're gonna have a 4-player map, but then limit the spawns, it's like, why have the map?
Well, Adult Diaper is planning shenaniganry in this game. He has an SCV in Silky's gold base against a random player who he hasn't yet scouted what race he's against, and he's planning, I would guess, 11 racks, 3 Reaper, proxied in the gold base. And he's going to run into a Protoss who has overcharge.
Gate first, and yeah.
Yeah.
No gas yet. Oh, gas just taken. Double gas. So, Twilight or Stargate?
It could still be just 2 and 2, and into an expansion a little bit later with the Mothership Core and a Stalker out. Not instantly Omega cheese, but it still might be Omega cheese. I mean, we've had a lot of cheese today so far. We've had the proxy hatches, we've had the, oh, it's 3 and 3. Well, as you were saying, carry on.
They do have the SCV going into the main base. Now, when
That's another SCV.
And a second barracks being made. The second barracks is interesting choice. I don't know if I've seen double proxy racks Reaper unless it's much earlier than this. Ideally, I would have liked to see the SCV go and build a bunker, and it looks like it is going to try and do so out of sight. But the Protoss has already seen the SCV poking around the base, and so you kind of know to look for it now. Like, if you're going to sneak the bunker, you gotta kind of sneak the bunker. And the Mothership Core is forming, and Reapers do not shoot up, so Silky's just gotta hold on until overcharge. And the Stalker is coming out now, so it'll be able to kite the Reaper. Interesting opening, considering there was no scouting from the Terran player, and you were playing a random.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it can work versus all races to some extent, but I think he's got the worst race of the 3 to be doing this against.
Yeah.
Tricky.
This is tricky, and we're committed to Reapers. So this is going to need to get damage done. Silky is also starting a Nexus, and so far there's really no follow-up from the Terran.
Yeah, that's a really big sign of confidence there. He picks off one of the Reapers, which that shouldn't really happen, to be honest, from Adult Diaper's side of things. The only thing he should be losing Reapers to right now is Photon Overcharge.
Twilight Council is thrown down, so Silky is gonna just keep going along as planned and not panicking and staying pretty calm considering there are 4 Reapers in his base.
I mean, he's just slowly adding on stalkers from his one gateway, and it's only two barracks worth of Reapers, and I think he's identified that now. It's either one or two. I mean, he is going to take a few Reaper SCV kills there, but nothing too major. To be honest, this Mothership core could be sat on this bunker.
Oh, that's true. The Reapers don't shoot up, so it can just continue to poke away at this bunker. Go do that. Go.
Oh, another Reaper goes down there from Adult Diaper. That's not great. How many Reapers is that? I think that's 3 Reapers for 3 probes. Oh dear, that's not great. He's gonna get a Stalker.
And at this point, the Twilight... Yeah, you've seen the Twilight. You need to start preparing for Blink. Like, get some stuff up at home.
Well, he's prepared for DTs, I guess, but he's not prepared for Blink at all.
No, and these are continuing to pump out. I guess maybe if you're hoping to kill the Protoss before Blink finishes, but Silky's just going to continue to pump out Stalkers, and when those Stalkers live, they're just going to be more for Blink. Nexus Cannon does finally go off, and the bunker is within range.
Yeah.
So
it's not within line of sight range, so Silky will need to move a unit over there to get vision of the bunker to kill it. But this is not going so well for Adult Diaper here.
No, and these barracks are just, now they're starting to float back, but Blink is over halfway done. And there's going to be nothing here to stall for Blink. There's no bunkers going down for throwing on add-ons. And Silky can just take the Stalkers and move across the map.
I mean, there's 3 Reapers, and they're actually moving back towards Silky's side of the map. To be honest, these Stalkers, I don't think they really care. I mean, Silky can just warp in a few Stalkers at home, and he'll be quite happy. I think he's kept his Mothership core at home. Yeah, he has. He's actually gone very safe here, Blink into the Robo. So it's not even an all-in from Silky, it's just a bit of counter-pressure. But I think it's going to put Adult Diaper really on the back foot here.
And these Reapers are dead. What units does... They're 21 SCVs.
I mean, SCVs are good, right?
And a Mule.
Mules are even better. And there's a Marauder. 1 Marauder against 5 Stalkers. This is going to get tricky. There's a few more Stalkers warping in on the left side. There's Pylon on the right side as well. And this is... I mean, Silky's not even planning to win the game here. He's got Colossus tech as his planned follow-up to this. He can add on a Forge probably as well if he doesn't want to commit very heavily to this Blink. Just screw up slightly his Blink there. One of the Stalkers getting caught outside. But there's 2 Marauders and a Widow Mine.
And if this tech lab goes down, that's 10 minutes stim not started, stim just started. This is
tricky. I don't know what you'd really do in Adult Diaper's position here, apart from...
Could have maybe not committed to the Reapers so much, but...
Yeah, just go with the 1 Rax, maybe.
Any kind of follow-up, especially with Blink staring you in the face. I mean, that's the thing, like, the Reapers kept poking forward. You saw Blink being researched and didn't prepare for it, and... Oh, Stim didn't even get a cancel. Oh...
It will also cancel the upgrades. So that's
but you don't get the refund.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, you do?
Yep, it's just the buildings. But you don't. For some reason, even pros try and cancel upgrades. I don't know why they tried, but you get the money back. So that will give us the 6-1 lead.
That... I'm not quite sure what to say about that.
Yeah, it was a strange game.
It was.
And we have even stranger, as we have another TVP on, this time Inferno Bulls.
Ooh.
And it will be the last Gold League match of the night. It'll be Fu Manchu versus D's Nuts.
D's Nuts.
Yeah.
Should have a vote for most interesting names of the evening.
Interesting.
Interesting. I'm being polite.
I wasn't.
Personable. I like this map in general. I think TVP is probably my worst map on this, because turtling and not being active enough on my end. which is my fault. But we are going to get horizontal spawns.
Oh, aggressive spawns.
The fun spawns. So starting in the top left, we have the green Protoss, these nuts. And in the top right, we have Fu Manchu. We're going to be incredibly mature.
Of course, we're both adults. This is a highly professional cast. We are prepared for this kind of a game. We've just had adult diapers game. We can have these nuts this game.
And Baby Puncher in the past.
I mean, last season there was one guy called Micro Dick Ladder Edition. So I mean, there's the names.
If you're gonna have a name like that, though, you have to do like Proxy Stargate into like Proxy Robo, kind of like just the really cheesy stuff where you're just determined to do all the troll builds.
And these nuts does get the scout, and he just leaves. Oh, you're there? Okay, cool, bye.
Get in and out? Yeah. Fu Manchu's gonna get a little later gas, which is fine if you're just going to, you know, make the Reaper and move on.
Yeah, it looks like that's the...
One gate and one gas out of these nuts. Are you just gonna start giggling every time now?
Huh? I don't know. I'm just a very mature person. I'm prepared for this cast. Like I said, I will repeat that to remind myself. Yeah. So what do you do in the Protoss position here? I mean, I guess you throw down the Twilight Council. Try that one again. Cybernetics Core. You reckon Stargate? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I was gonna say I don't think I've actually seen Blink on this map. I've seen Stargate.
Flash lost to Trap doing it in these exact spawn locations. One base, 4-gate Blink versus CC first into die was the game.
Well, he was going for I don't think I remember that game, but the other ones I saw, he was going CC first versus. There's a lot of CC first versus Protoss at IEM.
Yeah, it's perfectly viable, but it's tricky
viable.
to hold the one base all ends with the CC first.
Yeah.
So not going to be the case this game though, as we'll be having a Marauder being pumped out after the Marine for Fu Manchu and a second barracks thrown down. So this is looking to be like some kind of currently one base stim timing.
We got Chrono into Warp Gate and a second gateway being thrown down for a Protoss player, so both players are on one base and 2 unit producing facilities.
Balance.
As we are taking full advantage of the horizontal spawns, but Fu Manchu actually has not scouted. So
part of me says he doesn't actually need to, because I think the Protoss player D's Nuts is going to be bringing these nuts to the other side of the map.
I was going to say, with the probe showing up as early as it did, you could reasonably assume that it could only have come from one place.
Yeah. Comanche's just throwing down a bunker as well. I guess he's expecting something. For whatever reason.
I mean, maybe he's got a crystal ball, because the 4th gateway was thrown down, and Chrono once again going into Warp Gate, so this is going to be one base 4 gate. The Wings of Liberty now.
Yeah, I did this build back in 2010. Admittedly, I didn't do it as well as D's Nuts, but this is... I mean, I think if Fu Manchu was doing any other kind of build, he'd probably get a lot of work done. But I mean, Fu Manchu is well prepared for this.
Yeah. Factory going down. eBay, second gas, you could tech to medevacs, or if you're gonna have everybody try and storm up your ramp, just get a couple Widow Mines. Stim will be done as well. I mean, there won't be medevacs, so you don't want to overstim, but I wonder what this SCV is going to do when it's walks past 3 stalkers.
Nothing. By the looks of things, it's just gonna hightail it out of there. Bye, guys. Done.
Brave Sir Robin ran away.
Yeah, there's 6 Marauders already out, and there's not even enough Stalkers here. I mean, 2 Stalkers have gone down already. There's no way this can work. Stim is done.
Stim is done. Maybe I would have liked to see the Mothership Core with this attack. I think nowadays, especially in Heart of the Swarm, if you're going to 4-gate as Protoss, you should probably have the Mothership Core, be it for recall or for Time Warp. It's just a nice to have, but we're just going to pump in Stalkers and see if we can get up this ramp.
Well, that's 4 Stalkers going down so far to 2 Marines.
And Brave Sir Robin down here in the bottom right is just on autopilot. I think
He's
this
having
is
a good
the
time.
first scout.
Yep, he's trying to find out what's up. He's like, well, this Protoss keeps trying to throw Stalkers up here, but I mean, I don't know where he is, so I'm going to go have a look. And Fu Manchu, he's got all of the normal macro pieces except the second CC. Interesting.
Yeah, if you're going to go up to 5 racks, you do ideally want a second command center, but in this case, if you're going to get 4-gated, I'm okay with staying inside.
Yeah, These Nuts has just gone home. He's thrown down the natural nexus, but he's actually looking around for that SCV. These Stalkers have gone down to the bottom right corner, finding nothing. Maybe he's looking for a hidden base or something. But Terrans, if they're going to hidden base on this map, it's either going to be a gold base or an island base, I think.
If you're island based, they're just going to send a Stargate, be it, and they'll make any Stargate unit, and then you won't have an island base anymore.
That's true.
It's not like Zerg, where you know you can at least... No, I've done it on other island-based maps where it's like, oh yeah, no, Protoss will totally not be able to do anything about it, and then it's either a Warp Prism or a Stargate, and it's just like, oh, okay, well I can't actually get anything up there to defend my own base.
Speaking of defending, this is a scary bioforce moving out for Fu Manchu. We got 9 Marauders, 8 Marines, and a medevac against 11 Stalkers. 1 Zealot, 1 Stalker, 1 Mothership Core. Or 1 Sentry, rather.
And I don't think this Stalker Patrol is going to actually be home in time to meet up with the rest of the party. And so, what's at home from these nuts is going to get busted up.
Oh dear. This is, I mean, the Stalkers do arrive, but there's just a lot of Marauders, and that's a bit of an accidental pickup there, I think, from Fu Manchu, because he probably could have taken that fight.
Yeah, but at the same time, I guess better to pick up and take something home than lose all of it with the surround.
Yeah, good to be cautious, I suppose. He goes home, regroups, he's got another couple of medevacs coming out, a few more Marauders. He's got the +1 attack finished, he's got +1 armor started, so he's definitely ahead in the tech department. All we have from these nuts is just the 4 gateways. Only now is the robo going down.
There's no forge? No? Yeah, just have a second because I would like combat shields to start.
Yeah.
That's the only Terran upgrade that I don't think we've seen yet as far as the early mid-game stuff.
Yeah, I think it probably was forgotten at this stage, but I mean, you could also argue that he's prioritizing the Marauders and the medevacs.
Oh, definitely. If you see an early 4-gate, you're gonna probably opt for concussive shells over combat shields.
Yeah. These nuts is just making the full macro transition now, adding on the double forges and the Twilight Council to go with his robo. I don't think he's going to have quite enough money to spend off of all of it, but he can certainly now choose the 1-1, all of the Colossus tech. Got a lot of probes out as well, so his economy is getting rolling here, whereas Fu Manchu only has a couple of SCVs in his natural. Just now dropping the mules.
Fu Manchu's got a Doom Drop on its way, and that's a lot of tech that's exposed. Like, if these forges go down, or maybe go straight for the Nexus. I mean, the army is actually repositioning, so maybe it was spotted.
Yeah, it flew directly over the one pylon out on the map somehow. That's always what happens with your medevacs. But these nuts have just moved commanding his army in, and all of his stalkers, well, half of his stalker count just got evaporated for free, and Fu Manchu's being very cautious with these medevacs. I think he probably could have taken that fight as well. But, I mean, it's better to be safe than sorry. He got some guaranteed damage there. He killed like 5 or 6 stalkers for, what was that, 2 Marauders?
Yeah, and we won't be worrying about that pylon anymore.
Yeah. Meanwhile, back home, he's got basically the same army, just missing the medevacs, so those guys could be pulled across the map, and He's nuts. He doesn't have enough army to defend both his main and his natural anymore, so he's actually going to lose his natural as a result. This fire run-by effectively is going to be evaporating the probe line.
Yeah, and it's just going to pick up and get out. Don't even need to go for the Nexus if there's going to be nothing mining from it.
Yeah, that's 15 probes that just got slaughtered there, and Fu Manchu's now bringing out the rest of his bio out onto the map. He's adding that armory, going to be getting that +2 attack very shortly after that, +2 armor as well by the looks of things. Still missing a few SCVs in the natural, maybe a third command center of sorts, but everything else is looking pretty damn solid.
Yeah.
I think he's just going to mentally regroup himself and move out once again, because he's feeling pretty confident in this game by the looks of things.
Yeah, Charge is being researched for these nuts, but there's no Colossus on the way, no Immortals to counter the really high Marauder count. And this is a big army moving across the map to not much for these nuts.
There's nearly more Marauders than there are Marines. That is very scary. Wow.
It's going to do a lot of damage to that army, because there's one sentry that's going to have to Guardian Shield everything.
Yeah, once again, this triple medevac drop has returned, and this time Fu Manchu's here to stay by the looks of things. Cleaning up that bio force as his bio runs into the natural as well, and is met by fairly stiff resistance. We will be stimming and kiting away there, but he will be getting the Forge in the main base, and killing these Warpins as well. He might even get this second pylon. Second Forge even.
Yeah, the Forge is going to go down. No more upgrades. And this Colossus, I don't think it's going to pop in time.
No, I think Fu Manchu's going to be able to kill this, pick up. Yeah, nice drop. Boost away. That's a lot of damage done.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there's the third command center back home. He's going to be able to start his 2-2 whenever he returns to his engineering base. Huge bio force, and these nuts just decides, yep, I'm done. GG, well played.
Yep. And they've withdrawn.
Yep, so Fu Manchu gets us another map win. So we are now up 7-1 with just the ace match remaining.
Alright.
And the ace match this week, we have a Protoss player Zale for Team All In against Chimera from Outset, a Zerg player. The first map was set as Expedition Lost, and then the winner of that will receive a veto, and then the loser picks, and if the other player wins map 2, then again the winner of map 2 gets a veto, and then the loser picks.
Okay.
Alright, so we will load on up to Expedition Lost.
We are back on the not polar night.
Yep.
Still waiting for just like the really crazy PvZ game on this map that I know can happen.
What kind of crazy do you prefer? That's a very personal question.
I don't know. Oh, early pause? Yep.
Zale was moved to
I'll
your
have to
channel.
hold that thought because spawning in the top right, we have blue Protoss, it is Zale, and in the bottom left, we have Chimera. Like one of those kind of like pseudo-immortal-y ones, or maybe the Mass Stalker kind of blink thing that you see like Naniwa do sometimes, where they just like go for the third, but oh no, will the Zerg surround with roaches and hydras, or will the upgrades be done on time properly, or oh wait, the Zerg is researching burrow, that's a bold move, let's see how it works, you know, like one of those where it just kind of comes down to the wire.
Well, as of yet, nothing crazy. Chimera isn't opting for the fast drone scout on two-player map. He's probably going to open up relatively safe here, probably pull first. He might go for the hatch first, but it's a little bit of a risk if you do that. He might keep the second Overlord actually just hovering over his natural to watch for cannon rushes, but that won't be the case as we have the gateway first, so nothing massively crazy.
Do you think it's better to pool first on this map, given the distance between the two bases and the possibility for cannon rushing and all of that?
You can just drone scout on 10 and react appropriately. You don't even need to play the guessing game. So Chimera will play the guessing game and he will get it correctly guessed this time, but Bale is gonna fake the cannon rush by the looks of this.
Now,
Yeah.
how do you feel when they
5
fake
drones
the
rolled.
cannon rushes?
From which side? The Zerg side, you feel
Zerg
really sad.
side.
You'd be like, oh no, I just pulled 4 drones for nothing.
And they faked me out.
Yeah, meanwhile back at home, Zale's got the Nexus thrown down already, and he's just cancelled that. That's probably, it's 40 minerals a minute that the drones mine, and that was probably 30 seconds, so what's that, like 100 minerals lost there? Not bad for the cost of 25 lost. Cost the
Yeah.
pylon? Yeah.
I'll be getting those early things out as fast as you'd like.
Yeah, and we've got the double gas thrown down pretty swiftly, the cybernetics core as well. So things are looking pretty on point here for Zale. This is more what I would have expected in that Cyber Wizard TB Ham game, instead of the Forge before the cybernetics core, which I still can't quite comprehend that.
So, we're just gonna keep chugging along as normal, then.
Yeah, things pretty standard. Chimera is opting for the reactionary gas. That's one way to combat the gateway expand openers, is to grab Zergling speed before you move out towards a third base. So we'll see if he mines 100 and then chooses for that, or maybe he'll opt for something else, like Overlord speed. Some people like that as well.
Now, on this map, do you like the concept of taking kind of a really fast third just to see if you can get away with it, or do you feel that it's an excuse to just get 4-gated?
I actually try and bait it on ladder, to be quite honest. I throw down the third hatchet with the gold and say, yeah, come at me. I've seen Snoop do that on his stream as well, and sometimes it actually works out okay, because then you have like a hilariously strong roachling attack that you can pull off. But it's, yeah, I mean, with the drone scout at the start of the game that you can do on 10, you can just do that reactively and be safe in that decision.
I actually had a Zerg do something like that to me the other day, where they went for the gold and did some stuff with roaches, but I just swapped into tanks and brutally murdered them.
Yeah.
So I don't think it works quite the same against Terran.
So we will be having a pretty fast Immortal come out here for Zale.
And the sling is actually, well, it tried to get in. It almost
It tried
made
to
it.
get in. This Overlord at the top as well. What has this Overlord seen? It's seen the third gas, hasn't seen a fourth gas, and it hasn't seen any sign of the Robo.
No, and I don't think it's going to unless that Immortal just walks up to say hi.
Yeah, Immortals not as good enough that they can just go around killing Overlords. And actually, Zale has just completely pulled out of this gas entirely. He's completely faked out Chimera. So this attack, Chimera would expect it to hit a little bit later than it's going to. And that's 3 more gateways being thrown down in the main, away from any kind of Overlord scout. How many gateways is this? This is... where's the structures button? Here we go. We got 1 gateway, 4 more being thrown down, another... oh my goodness, that's 7 gateways, and this is probably just going to be like Zealots for a lot of this warp-in, just because it's just the 2 gas geysers. This is going to be pretty brutal. 3 Immortals. We've got 3 sentries, a few more being warped in, 4 sentries. Yeah, so there's not going to be very many sentries, but it is going to move out at a very fast time.
Now, this Overlord is going to try and scout in from the bottom corner of the base. What is it going to actually see before it does? It sees the gateway finish, 2nd gateway,
Okay,
3rd gateway.
Yeah, for the pause. Oh, rip. Massive chat log. I guess they paused for an extended period of time there, but... So, Chimera has seen 4 gateways, he's seen a 5th gateway on the wall, he's seen a warp prism flying across the map, so... He at the very least knows there's 5 gateways, but he can now see that there'll be immortals killing these rocks as well, so... He knows that stuff is up, and... He had a little speedling flank here, but... What else? We've got a few roaches, but that's 3 immortals.
And, I mean, these roaches are at the top of the ramp, but these sentries can just kind of zone them out.
Yep. Zone them out they do, getting a few sentries there for free, but actually a lot of these roaches are getting some nice surface area. This mothership core might just die here. Yeah, the mothership core does go down, but the 3 immortals are still here. This is getting pretty close.
Yeah, this is getting a lot closer than I think it should have. I mean, these queens got a lot of transfuse, and there are more roaches coming in, but actually all the sentries are gone. So...
Yeah, these queens, they're trying to now focus fire the prism down, but I think they should have been doing that from the start, to be honest, and...
That's GG.
That's G. Alright, so Zale goes up 1-0 in this best of 3. I believe he told me he vetoed for the Inferno pools. I mean...
I don't blame him.
Solid choice, Cotton. Gold choice. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't see where Protoss players would really want to play for the long game on a map that large.
Yep, and Chimera chose Overgrowth for map 2, so we will load into Overgrowth.
Although, we've seen long PvZ games on this map as well, so it can be done on any map.
I mean, this is your traditional 2014 tournament game right here. PvZ on Overgrowth, I think.
Yeah, that's why I said this map needed to go.
Yeah. If my overlay works this time. Yes. Cool.
But to start things off, spawning in the bottom left, we have Chimera, and in the top right, we have Zale. And so, yeah, this is just going to be the 2014 PvZ... Yeah.
Thomas says no
I
format.
was going to say is mirror, but at the same time, you'd have to actually pull up, like, replays of pro PvZ games and then just see where the deviations occur.
Yeah, things are going to be a little bit slower and a little bit worse, but Diamond League is pretty good nowadays, so... Well... Some Diamond League players.
I mean, the skill gap's got to occur somewhere. It's just whether it's going to be Diamond or Masters or the bottom of GM. I mean, it's going to be somewhere around that general area. I don't know.
Yeah, Chimera once again opting not to drone scout, which is gonna get a little bit more money for his. I guess he's gonna go hatch first again because that's what he did on the previous map, I believe. So.
Zale's going to throw down the gateway and scout, so this is looking pretty similar to the first game. I wonder if we'll have another fake cannon rush.
I mean, we might well just see that with no drone scout from Chimera. He can't really tell the difference, and to be honest, if there's a pylon thrown down in this natural from Chimera, he really has to react to it, because, yeah, Zale faked him out the previous game, but Chimera, if he loses his map, he loses the ace match. So if this is a real cannon rush, then he's going to be sad. But Zale is just going to move his probe up into the main and see what's up instead. Gets the scout on the spawning pool, and he sees no gas geysers.
So what you're saying is that if you fake the cannon rush, your response is to panic and pull all the drones.
I mean, if you see a probe, you just pull all the drones. If you kill the probe, then you're never going to get cannon rush, right?
That works too.
Does work. Logic is solid. Yeah, so Zale just goes and throws down the Nexus, double gas, cybernetics core. This is the same opening that we saw in the previous game. Pretty solid, standard, safe opening, with a little bit of a greed attached to it with the Nexus before the cybernetics core, but you can get the Zealot out if needs be and wall off the main ramp if any kind of tease was to occur.
And this probe and drone are just determined to fight it out in the middle of the map.
Yeah, that's...
Although the probe is actually sneaking back around.
Yep, he's gonna check to see if there's a third base, and by the looks of it, just go home. Nope, he's gonna leave the probe on patrol there just to monitor that.
He's doing a little probe dance. It's got its headphones in. It's listening to Wubstep.
You reckon that's probe music? I mean, they are robots, robot music, so sounds about right.
Protoss have enough disco lights going around.
That's true, they do. Oracles literally are a disco ball if you type /dance. Don't have enough dancing oracles. Maybe we can get that as a new hip chat gif. Bring in the dancing oracles.
Bring out the dancing oracles.
Yeah.
Right, we do have the Zealot and the Stalker moving out, and the Mothership's core is on the way, and it looks like it's rallied maybe to just kind of defend the front, and might get a little bit of poking done, or they'll just go and hold the watchtowers. Probe is still out on the map, I guess, disappointed that there's not a fast third, or doesn't have anything interesting to bring home.
Yeah, but not seeing the third base is also information, right? Zale can't really move out and pressure anything because killing a 2-base Zerg is nearly impossible with light pressure. Attacking the third is going to be a lot more dangerous, but there's still no third base, but he's going to threaten the pressure anyway by the looks of it. He is bringing his Mothership core, so he'll be able to just recall home. And just maybe force out some units, but I mean, there's 3 queens here. There's actually going to be a 5th queen.
We've got 3 gates going down, and warp gates finishing up. I mean, they're just going to put on pressure for a third base that's just not there. And 3 queens, I think, are going to hold this off pretty easily, because you're not going to want to lose that Mothership core.
Yeah. So, we have the Stargate and the Forge as a follow-up from Zale, and I imagine this is going to be a pretty swift third Nexus being thrown down, probably off the back of an Oracle. So, going into a macro game here is Zale.
Did finally get that Overlord. I guess they're determined to get something done for their trouble. And these queens are going to kind of retreat back. Another queen pops out, and these lings are going to flood in and try and push this back. Speed's just about to finish, so these stalkers actually need to move faster.
Yeah, they will get picked up by the looks of this, along with maybe even the Mothership core.
Ooh! So, which incredibly slow unit is going to get chased down? Oh, Mothership core dies.
Yeah, I think if the Mothership core and the Stalkers were paired up there, Zale could have probably recalled everything back home, but he actually loses all of the units he sent out there to pressure, so Chimera is going to be able to put on a little bit of counter pressure, but this wall is pretty solid. I mean, this Zealot's probably going to go down, but there's a few more reinforcing Zealots here, and there can be a force field here just to keep the Sentry alive. Perfectly on 0 shields, and the Oracle is now out, so any more Speedlings, if they want to try and pressure, the Oracle will completely fry them.
Yep, there are no spores, but there is a queen in each base and a couple more hanging around spreading creeps, so I don't think this Oracle should get too much done, but some drones probably will die.
Yeah. 1 Oracle will beat 1 queen. But it looks like that Zale is just going to go straight for the drone line, get as much damage done as he can. And he's got 4 drones, and that's a 5th drone. Is actually going to keep going? Get a 6th drone maybe? Nah, he's going to get out. 5 drones though. Nice, he's actually got a 30 supply lead. Wow, that is a massive supply lead.
Yeah, that is. Do you think maybe that's because the 3rd hatch for the Zerg was so late? Is that kind of...
Yeah, I don't really have a reason why the 3rd hatch was this late from Chimera, to be quite honest. I mean, Zale has sent a few Zealots in to harass the drone line here, but there's no drones here.
The hatch just finished as well.
Yeah.
And these Speedlings are going to kind of clean it up, and the Queens are going to get here, but why would a Zerg take a 3rd this late in PvZ?
I mean, it's nice if you want to be safe, but then sometimes I think this is probably too safe. I mean, he has now caught up in supplies, he's pumped some roaches out, but his economy is arguably non-existent. Zale is at 63 probes to the 38 drones Chimera.
And, I mean, third base for the Protoss is it's in a pretty nice spot. It's got a nice little Sim City going. The third Nexus is almost done. And, I mean, as a Protoss, you're in a pretty comfortable spot, although it looks like Chimera does have some units to maybe put on some pressure or decide to go home.
Looks like he's just gonna opt to go home. I mean, there's a few more Zealots in the third base, but it is met by a Roach Queen Speedling defense, and that is gonna tip off Chimera that there is another pylon he's missed around that area, so he should be sending some units out to look for that, but it looks like now he's just gonna go straight for the counter-attack here, and that is, how many Roaches and Speedlings is that? 23 Roaches, 10 Speedlings, against 2 Stalkers, 8 Sentries. This is a lot of units. That is a very scary amount of units.
And these roaches gonna get pincered off, or are they gonna go for it, or are they just gonna pull back? Decisions.
They're just gonna go for it. I mean, there's no more force fields on these sentries, but it looks like he respects the overcharge and he is gonna run towards the main base here. A Void Ray is out for Zale, but it's gonna kill all these roaches eventually. It's not gonna kill them now, and the roaches are split up. Some of them fighting in the natural, some of them going into the main. But the ones in the natural will be retreating, and the ones in the main, they will be focusing the Nexus down, but I think, to be honest, they should be going for the probes after seeing the Zealot walk in.
Yeah, and I don't think with that many roaches, you weren't going to get more than shield damage on the Nexus.
Yeah, nice attempt at force field there.
More roaches just kind of rally into the base. They feel brave.
They were too brave. So Chimera is now finishing up +2 missile attacks, so his units are pretty well upgraded. He's also got Hydralisk tech, but he's still only on 52 drones against the fully saturated Protoss. I mean, Protoss has now got a reasonable army supply as well, and he's starting +3 attacks of his own. But
3 more Zealots are going in towards the Zerg's third, but it's so low on health, it really can't keep taking these Zealot hits. The Lings will be here to clean it up, but all it's going to take is kind of one inattention.
yeah, and during all of that, Chimera did attempt to pressure towards Zale, but Zale held just barely once again. He's got now 2 Void Rays, he's got a nice healthy Blinkstalker count, he's actually blinking aggressively towards this remaining few Roach Hydras, and there's another pause! I mean, that's fine, pause is for replay, we don't care.
Now, normally, the Void Rays would probably not want to dive into the Hydras, and they rightfully come back a bit, but this is giving Chimera time to get out more units. Although the Protoss does have a pretty sizable force as well, and +3 is on the way, but Zale is going to retreat back, get a Templar Archives, and just play it safe.
Zale sent a squad of Zealots to the 4th base of Chimera, but he didn't find anything there, because there isn't actually a 4th base up yet. And Zale is actually going to get the 4th base before the Zerg, which is unusual.
And it's 52 drones to 71 probes, so
yeah,
pretty low drone count.
Chimera
It's finally going to find this pylon.
Yeah, that's been there for like the last 10 minutes or so. That has caused his 3rd base a lot of grief. Luckily the 3rd is still barely alive, but it's literally hemorrhaging blood everywhere. It's... wow.
It's PG-13, guys.
Yep.
Not safe for children.
We do have a Spire being thrown down for Chimera, maybe as a response to the Void Rays, but would you build Corruptors as a response to Void Rays? I mean, you only saw 2, there's a lot of Stalkers, can't afford Mutas. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say, maybe if Chimera had a better, more stable economy, just kind of do the Muta switch thing, but, I mean, it looks like Chimera is gonna try and put pressure at this 3rd, but the army is here, Nexus Cannon is ready, and you're walking into a Protoss army.
Yeah, speaking of that, walking in the main from Zale, and it looks like he might get the layer.
It's forcing the entire army back.
Yeah, really buys time. I think if he got the layer, that was a bonus. The main thing it does is it secures his own 4th base, right? His Nexus is now finished. He throws the Dark Shrine behind it because why the hell not? He's not behind, but if you're ahead, doesn't that mean you're even better than behind?
Yeah.
Then you can throw down the Dark Shrine anyway? I don't know.
And it's really good for late game harassment. And I've
yeah.
seen that in a whole lot of PvZs, especially on this map, where you just start pumping out the 2 or 3 warp prisms and you send them around, you warp in like 4 to 6 zealots and like 1 to 2 DTs, and you just destroy things sneakily.
Looks like Zale has forgotten charge though in this game, but apart from that, the rest of his play has been pretty stellar so far.
Yep. Storm is ready, +3 is done. There is no Colossus tech, but I mean, at this point, don't really need it, although this army by Zale is actually kind of getting overrun.
Yeah, the storms will come down on top of the army, but roaches, they live through the Psy Storms, and actually most of this will get cleaned up by Chimera, and it looks like Zale's 4th base is forfeit, but at the same time Chimera lost his 4th base to a Zealot run by, and at the same time there's also a Zealot run by towards the 3rd base, and I think that's just going to get focused down as well, so...
And the
yeah,
Prism
Zale lost
is
his 4th
targeting
base.
the main.
Yeah, but yeah, this is 3 base trade for 1 base. That's a pretty nice trade, I think.
Yeah, the math checks out.
Yeah. But Zale just needs to survive the army regroup with Chimera. He is down a lot in army supply. So many roaches and hydras. Yeah, the war prism comes back, so maybe like we help with reinforcements, but where's the splash damage? Actually, it looks like Zale doesn't need it. Just blinking back. If you keep blinking back enough, eventually the Zerg is going to run out of steam by the looks of things, and the Zerg is literally going to run out of steam because he only has 2 hatches left.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of larvae, and there was already a low drone count to begin with, and now there's even less, and once...
Yeah.
It's just going to be whichever army regroups first.
It would have been really nice to see Chimera take one of the build bases to help his low drone count out. That probably would have put him in a very commanding position in this game, but...
Started it, but he cancelled it.
Yeah.
And Chimera is actually in full retreat chasing this warp prism around. And the Corruptors, which really haven't had a reason to be in the game, are going to chase it back, but the army is now at the reforming 3rd, which is going to have to be cancelled, and puts Chimera back on 2 bases.
Oh, this is an icky position from Chimera, but he will be able to get a pretty nice engagement. He does still have the superior army, but Zale's just like, nope, see ya. And another pause, because this is the game of pauses. Why the hell not? Strange position for Chimera.
Yeah, Chimera chased down the Warp Prism, but at the cost of leaving the Corruptors basically trapped on the Protoss side of the map. So they will not be able to rejoin the army easily.
Well, all they could really do is cast Corruption and kill Mothership Cores, so... Well, looks like they're just gonna fly home. No problem. Chimera, he really needs maybe like a few more Hydras, but I think the problem was rooted in the low drone count from earlier, not being able to get enough money to spend. I mean, now that Zale has managed to stabilize, he's still on 4 bases. His army supply is now catching up to Chimera. Has he added a Robo and Colossus tech yet? He's got a Robo. A Colossus tech though.
No, it's just Templar. Chimera is taking a 4th in the bottom corner, but the 3rd base still hasn't finished, and the main is mined out. Natural is pretty much gone. There's no money really coming in.
Yeah, it looks like Zale is just looking for that last fight, and he's going to find it here towards the X-3rd base of Chimera. Time Warp's going down. It's just Blink Stalkers. There's a few Templar here, but their storms are hardly even necessary. There's just so many Blink Stalkers.
Yeah, and a couple of Zealots will tank, and that's GG.
That's GH. Yep. Cool. Alright, so like we will take the 8-1 victory over Outset this week. How bad?
Good games from all the players.
That seems to be the recurring theme of the past few weeks. We've had now 3 8-1s in a row.
Yeah.
Pattern.
Doing pretty good.
Yep. What do we have? Next week will be the last week of the round robin stage. And it will be us versus Team Composite coming up this time next week. 7 p.m. Eastern, Tuesday.
And what are our playoff shots?
We are now 4-2, second in our group, so we're looking pretty solid.
Nice.
Yeah, so we're predicted to at least get to the playoffs, unless we have a disastrous week 7, I think, which currently we're 0-0. Disastrous.
Okay.
Alright, I guess that about does it. We will catch you guys later.
Alright. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a good evening.